Joshua Kimmich to Arsenal hint. Remember, before the end of the previous season, we are here talking about Joshua Kimmich to Arsenal and Arsenal considering him to obviously coming through and really play for the club of Arsenal. What was the cause of this? Joshua Kimmich doesn't want to renew his contract with the side of Bayern Munich, and he wants to see to it that he really moves on. And Joshua Kimmich is really one of those players that is really hugely experienced, 28 years of age, and is now playing at the Euros for the Germany national team. And all in all, a lot has gone here to be put into see to it that he really signs for either Arsenal and very many other teams that are really doing this deal. Now, Platigol has come out and obviously given us a couple of updates about his transfer to Arsenal and other teams that really want to sign him. Welcome to the Football News Show. How are you guys? I know you're watching us from my God by the names of Rokani David. This is the channel that brings you the latest news and information as far as everything is really concerned. And continue to subscribe because we want to hit 21,800 subscribers. And you're left with like 80 subscribers, I think, to hit that milestone. So guys, continue to subscribe, and the rest is gonna be history into the mix. Then we have Wayne Rooney, obviously slating the English national team. And lastly, we are gonna be hearing a little bit from a man called let's do these two only, not so? I think these two only will be enough, if I'm not really mistaken. Oh, there is Morata. Juventus is really pushing to obviously get in Morata as their striker. What does this mean for the lad called Vlahovic? Are they really expecting a Vlahovic exodus from Juventus? All that and more into the comment section. Rokani David is my name. And now, let's thank God for the gift of life, the Muslims. Barakallahu fikum, and may the living to God really bless you and bless you abundantly. Now, let's start it off with the first story that he put up today. Platigol told us that a separation between FC Bayern and Joshua Kimmich now all next summer is becoming increasingly likely. It is a scenario that both sides are open to. Kimmich would be ready to go into the final year of his contract and leave on a free transfer in 2025. Therefore, Bayern are willing to sell him this summer transfer window with suitable offers. Concrete talks with Kimmich will take place after the Euros. Still a top player and one of the captains of Germany. Now, if you are to look at what is being told to us right now about Joshua Kimmich, it shows you that if the situation remains as it is, that means Bayern Leverkusen will be on the verge of losing two players on a free next summer, if at all they don't really tie them on a longer contract or really sell them before this summer transfer window really comes to an end. That is Joshua Kimmich and Alphonso Davies. Those two are really fullbacks. Alphonso Davies plays as a left back and Joshua Kimmich plays as a right back for the side of Bayern Munich and Germany, but he can also play in the midfield as a CDM. He can play as a box-to-box midfielder. He is a multi-dimensional player, and that is one of the things I really talked about when I was really emphasizing on how Arsenal should get him in as a player. Arsenal fans know him very well. He scored the goal that really knocked them out of the Champions League quarterfinals in Allianz Arena, and Joshua Kimmich is not a joke. He's a guy that has vast experience that Arsenal side really needs. That's why I've always gone ahead to let you know that Arsenal needs to get in players. They need to get in some players who are really finished articles like Joshua Kimmich and others that are really raw diamonds or a process in the making. You understand? So that's why I told you Joshua Kimmich to Arsenal would be one of those deals that will obviously excite very many people. But the stance is going to have to be made, and I don't think he's going to really change it unless otherwise, but I think he wants to really adventure somewhere else. And Platigol went ahead and obviously added a very huge important update that Joshua Kimmich is advised and supported in the background, but Joshua Kimmich officially still has no agent. Clubs that want him have to call him directly. Only 5 top clubs are still in consideration for Kimmich. Now, all 2025. Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Real Madrid, and Barcelona. With about 20 million euro gross per year, he's one of the absolute top earners at Bayern Munich. Now, he earns close to £33,000 a week. That is Joshua Kimmich for you. You understand? That is Joshua Kimmich for you. So he has no agent, and if at all you want to talk to him, you have to call him directly. And I think that's why everyone is like, the Euros have to first come to an end. But I think every time these players are not playing football, I know they can train for like 5 hours a day. After training 5 hours a day, they obviously go and really have their phones. And I know he's been now receiving messages from people and agents and managers of different teams. But amongst those teams that are really interested in Joshua Kimmich, Arsenal is among. And whoever wants to sign him should really convince him directly. And I don't know what's running the mind of Joshua Kimmich, but I think Arsenal's project is really attractive. But you ask yourself, when you go to Arsenal, are you going to dislodge Benjamin White? Are you going to dislodge Declan Rice in that midfield? Or you're going to be played alongside Declan Rice and Odegaard? Are Arsenal willing to move on from Bruno Guimaraes, Yao Neves, Fofana, and obviously get in an experienced player to obviously play him in the midfield? We all know that Joshua Kimmich is a player who wants to play in the midfield. That is it. He's a player who wants to be played in the midfield, and he really had a very bad rift with Nagelsmann, because he thought that Nagelsmann was going to be playing him in the midfield. But every manager that has going to have to come in through at Bayern Munich has going to have to be playing him as a right back. I know he's a really good midfielder, but I think as a right back he does also have a better purpose, and it depends on the decisions that Arsenal are yet to make. Because if they are to go in for Joshua Kimmich, it will be huge news for me and for him, because Joshua Kimmich has come up and obviously done a lot. He's a Champions League winner, you understand. He has played in the World Cup, Euros, and he's really one of those players that I believe he's a missing piece in the team of Arsenal. He's a leader, he's a captain, he has everything you want. He's good at set pieces, and he can put in better crosses than Benjamin White if at all is coming in through to play as a right back. Even if you want to integrate him in the midfield, it can really work out better. And for the system that Mikel Arteta wanted to integrate, all unleash at the beginning of the season, at the beginning of the 2023-2024 season, that Thomas Partey played as a right back, that failed obviously to really bear fruits, I think can test it with Joshua Kimmich. And I think that's why Arsenal are so much linked to Joshua Kimmich, because they know that he can be played as a right back and he can invert in very well. It's like having a Zinchenko onto the right back, but a Zinchenko who can defend. Joshua Kimmich is good defensively and offensively. So we leave it there and see how Arsenal is really gonna win this race. Man City is hugely wanting Joshua Kimmich. Joshua Kimmich, I think, came into limelight so much under Pep Guardiola, and I think Pep Guardiola is one of those managers that went ahead to give him a debut. I think it was like 17 years at the side of Bayern Munich, and 12 years later he's still playing for Bayern Munich, and his former manager at Bayern Munich is really knocking on the door. He wants to obviously sign him in at the club of Man City, and Man City really need Joshua Kimmich. You know, they really need Joshua Kimmich, because just imagine Joshua Kimmich and Rodri into that midfield. Obviously, Kimmich will give you those vibes of Joshua Kimmich will give you vibes of Joshua Kimmich will give you vibes of Ika Gundogan. That is it. And I think this guy really runs better and better and better and better and better and better. Now, after that, there is Real Madrid is also showing huge interest. Real Madrid are really searching in for replacement for a player known as Toni Kroos, who is really at the Germany national team and is playing his last tournament ever in the world of football, all competitive football. And I think Real Madrid can also use Kroos to convince Kimmich that, please, can you go to Real Madrid? And Real Madrid will obviously be willing to obviously offer, like, I think 20 million euros or 30 for Joshua Kimmich, which is an absolute steal for a player of his quality. One is saying, Rokani, so you think Havertz cannot obviously do the job? Havertz can also do the job and convince Joshua Kimmich to join the side of Arsenal. So we have to wait and see how things pan out. But I tell you, Joshua Kimmich to Arsenal hint has going to have to be dropped by plenty goal, and he is wanting out, and it is like a boost for the side of Arsenal, because it looks like he's not going to renew his contract. And that is it. he's not going to renew his contract. And if Bayern want to obviously lose him on a free, they should keep him around. If they want to see to it that the player leaves and they earn some money, they should sell him now, because even in January, he will be allowed to obviously negotiate with any team. The other team is Barcelona. Obviously, for Barcelona, they hugely need him, and Ilkay Gundogan might be there to really convince him to join Barcelona. You understand? So he's gonna be a hot cake, and let's wait and see how the Euros really end. And the moment they end, Joshua Kimmich is gonna be one of the hugest players that are gonna be linked to very many teams, and Arsenal is one of those that are really eyeing his signature to sign him and obviously deliver him to London. Now, after that, let's head to Core Sports. They've told us that it's Corey Dele Sport. They've confirmed us that Juventus is monitoring Alvaro Morata's situation with Atletico Madrid. The player is willing to reduce his salary. He currently earns 5 million euros per year plus bonuses to return to the Bianconeri. He also has a 12 million release clause in his contract. After the Euros, he will have a face-to-face meeting with Simeone, but unlike last summer, he could now say goodbye. Obviously, we all know to it that this guy Alvaro Morata is one of those people that came out and really said, after they played the first game and beat Croatia in the Euros, that he's really gonna be leaving. He's really gonna be leaving Atletico Madrid, if at all they are gonna be getting in a centre forward. And right now, there is a centre forward that Chelsea are gonna head obviously make a bid for, known as, I think he's known as Sami. Let me get his name right, because I don't want to come out here. Sami Omorodion, and they don't want to sell him. He's really 20 years of age, and they believe he can obviously take this job and do it better. So, Atletico Madrid are not going to make this guy a priority in their season, and that's what he doesn't want to hear. That is not going to be a priority, and he will be like, let me go back to Turin. But to Turin, where he's going to, there is Vlahovic, who is really scoring goals for fun. I don't know whether he would have gone ahead to make a very good decision to compete with Vlahovic, because if you can't get to the starting 11 at the side of Atletico Madrid and you're being benched by a 20-year-old, then how are you going to come out and compete with Vlahovic? You know, Vlahovic is really the real deal of this team of Juventus, and he wants a lot to come in through and obviously get them really running and going. So that is it about Joshua Kimmich to Arsenal hint. Sorry, that's about Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid is Morata to Juventus. Thiago Motta is a fan, and he wants to obviously sign him for Juventus and strengthen their side. Juventus has gone ahead obviously show in huge intent, because they've already gone ahead to sign Douglas Luiz on a permanent, and it's already a here we go. It's a story that we're going to be closing our day with onto this channel as usual. But it leaves very many question marks for Vlahovic at Juventus. Has he shown intent that he's really going to be leaving the side of Juventus? Because why would Juventus go in for Alvaro Morata, who wants to be the main man to lead the line for any team, yet they're really having Vlahovic, and there is no way Morata is going to be benching Vlahovic. We all know that he was at Juventus for some time, but that doesn't exonerate him, because he's really again up against one of the best center forwards in the world and in the league. So Atletico Madrid were also inquiring about Mason Greenwood, meaning that they're looking in for forwards to obviously replace the boy called, or the man called, Morata. So Morata spoke it out loud that if at all they're not going to make him a priority, he has gone ahead to see them looking out for different players, then it's not going to come to pass. That's what Morata went ahead to say. So after that, Wayne Rooney has come out and obviously spoken about how poorly England is really looking in the two games they've gone ahead to play against Serbia and against the side of Denmark. He said, watching England at Euros 2024, I see Man City, but not the City who have just railed off 4 consecutive PL titles with their brilliant football. They are like City, except without the timing and without the pressing, strategy and the width. Alright, he added on and said that the players should be told to hold positions longer and then make movements later. make movements late at the quicker pace. This is what I mean when I say England and Man City look alike without timing. Man City's timing comes from the coaching Pep Guardiola puts in. So I know he's just obsessed with Pep Guardiola as Wayne Rooney, because we all know that Wayne Rooney came out and made a statement that if in 2004 and 2008 they had a manager like between 2004 and 2010 they had a manager like Pep Guardiola, they would have gone ahead to win big. They would have gone ahead to win big trophies, especially the World Cup and the Euros, because they had the quality, but they lacked the manager to assemble a juggernaut out of that set of players at the side of England. And I really understand that if at all you got Pep Guardiola and gave him that English side or any other better manager, he can get the best out of the team, because first and foremost, you'll have to see a midfield that is really roving around Declan Rice, Kobe Mainoo, Jude Bellingham, and Phil Foden, right? Plus Bukayo Saka. You understand? And then the other guy would be, I don't think that players like Trent would get in the team, because this manager of Man City is really a strict guy, and he would have gone ahead to get the best out of them. But because Southgate is really limited at his tactics, and he's really naive on how to manage players of really extreme talent, there is no way he's really going to get the best out of them. What Rooney is saying is right, and don't think that Southgate is really going to get the best out of this side. And for me, I've been consistent on Gareth Southgate. I think for the past 4-5 years, I've been like, he's not the right man for the job. Though there are people that have gone ahead obviously coming through and put in agendas that really defend in this guy. But I tell you what, he's not the right manager for the job. And for the FA, they'll obviously sit down there and look and or rewatch our videos that we came up and obviously said that the guy is not the right man for the job. And they'll be like, we wish we knew. And I've always told you that I wish I knew is a fool's motto. You understand? So Wayne Rooney is spot on, and very many other journalists are really spot on, and this team really needs to obviously find another manager to do the needful. For me, even if he goes ahead and wins the Euros, because most of the teams that have gone ahead obviously win tournaments have gone ahead to have what we call a bad start, and in the due course of them having a bad start, it opens up doors for them to compete at a higher level. And England is a team that doesn't go ahead to concede very many goals. They've only gone ahead to concede one. And if at all they really continue to be solid like that and continue to defend better, not let in goals, they might find themselves playing the final, because it's all about outscoring your opponent and really having a watertight defense. That is England for you. And for the statement that he made last time, that he needs a player like Calvin, they are missing Calvin Phillips, I was like, what the hell is this man really meaning? You get? You come here in the broad daylight and tell us that Calvin Phillips plays that position better than Jude Bellingham, right? Okay, one will say let Jude Bellingham be players the number 10, then who is going to be playing alongside Declan Rice? Kobe Mainoo is 100 times better than Calvin Phillips, because he does all that better. Tell me one thing that Calvin Phillips does better than Kobe Mainoo. And if I told you a manager and you cannot field Kobe Mainoo into the team, then you are really not that guy responsible to obviously be the manager for that team. I tell you, you are not the right man for the job. So guys, tell me your thoughts about Joshua Kimmich to Arsenal transfer boost. I really welcome in the comment section below. The guy is not willing to obviously renew his contract. And I ask you, do you think Joshua Kimmich will choose Arsenal over Man City, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and there are like 5 teams that are interested in him? Do you think Arsenal will win the race? And secondly, what do you make about Alvaro Morata, Juventus pushing hard to obviously take him back to Turin? And do you think Wayne Rooney is right on the way he really judges the England national team's performance under Gareth Southgate? All and that more into the comment section below. Rokani David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later, and I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ, and may the living to God bless you and bless you abundantly. We out, but continue to subscribe. We want to hit 22,000 subscribers before the end of this month. Guys, let's do the needful. I'm out. 5-finger salute to everyone watching in through. It's Rokani David, and good night.